Now, we also have people at the highest levels of society. She's at the grassroots level, fighting hard, risking her life. And there are other people and other kinds of risks that are taken. And often our celebrities and our people who are on TV, like myself, it's very easy to basically just stay out of the fray. You have managers, you have agents, you have lawyers, you have people that work for you, and often, they're very risk averse. But we're going to bring somebody to the stage to respond to what she just heard and to talk about the responsibility that we all have to do more, who literally has 120 million social media followers, Grammy Award winner, pure heart, pure voice, incredible entertainer, already a legend at such a young age, and here to talk to us about what we can do to bring this country back together. Please welcome to the stage, Demi Lovato. God, such an honor.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for your kind remarks. I heard that, and you said I was already a legend, and I was like, oh, you're so sweet.
Well, it's kind of true.
Thank you.
Now my hands are shaking. Did you get a chance to hear any of the...
Yes,
yeah.
I did.
How did that strike you, listening to her?
First of all, I think that she's so incredibly courageous for coming out and speaking about the things that she believes in, and that she was there whenever it happened, that she was putting her life on the line. Little did she know that it would turn into what it did. But she was so brave and so courageous for standing up for what she believes in, and I commend her for her honesty and her bravery.
Well, I think it was incredible, and hopefully the rest of them will heal up enough so they can also talk, I think.
Absolutely. Trauma can be very, very powerful, and the fact that she's able to get up on this stage right after the fact is just unbelievable to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And, one of the things that I admire so much about you is, you've been somebody who's been willing to stand up to bullying and this kind of thing. And I feel like for a lot of us, part of why our reaction to Trump has been, so emotional is because for some of us who grew up being bullied, it's almost like, well, now the bully won, and that kind of thing. And it's almost like you regress back to that childhood of having that kind of stuff. Why have you taken on bullying, and made that such an important part of the many things that you're focused on? Just talk a little bit about the importance of people not letting young people be traumatized in the ways that they're being traumatized really all across the country.
Well, first of all, whenever I was 12 years old, I was bullied in school, and this was the beginning of social media. And I remember being harassed online and through text messages and being verbally bullied rather than physically bullied. And it was so bad to the point where I actually left public school and started homeschooling. And I had wished that they were physically abusive rather than verbally abusive because of how mean they were being. And I resorted to unhealthy behaviors that I've spoken out about. And I still have some trauma from that because it was such a traumatic thing that happened to me in my growing years. And so I know what it's like to be so depressed after being bullied that you have thoughts of suicide. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to harm yourself after that because you don't feel like you fit in because of how mean people are being. I know what that's like. And when I had a platform to speak out against it, I wanted people to know that bullying is not okay. It's not, because your friends are doing it, it doesn't make it cool. And I wanted the people that were being bullied to know that it's okay and you can get through it if you focus on something that you're passionate about. For me, it was music, and that motivated me. And I'm I'm here today because it made me stronger, and I wanted people to know that you could become stronger through it.
You know, it's such a continuum. You know, you have the Nazis and these people who are bullying. You have, you know, things that happen to people on the job where they're harassed off the job because they're female or because of this. You know, all the way down to, like you said, that grade school level where people are forming their identities, and you can get hurt as a child. And you know, I'm, you know, in my 40s, and I still have, you know, stuff to deal with from those things. You know, but you're somebody who you're so passionate about equality. You know, not just the bullying piece, but the equality piece. And you've taken stands. I mean, your Twitter. I mean, in the wake of what happened, I printed out some of your tweets if I can find them. You know, you tweeted out, "My heart is broken. No matter how uncomfortable it is, we must pay attention and we must speak out against hate, racism, and violence that is overwhelming our country today. You know, I beg of the evil to let go. Stop the hashtag, stop the hate." You know, this is tougher stuff than we got from the White House, frankly.
Yeah.
So give a round of applause for that, just for that.
And that saddens me as well.
What?
That saddens me as well, that's more than the White House gave us.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes a lot of people sad, but also I think that, you know, I was on TV today with David Axelrod, who was, you know, in the White House, and he was saying we're going to have to stop now talking about being disappointed in the president and wanting the president to do this, that it's not going to happen, and it's really going to come back to people like us. Most people who have a fraction of the fraction of the fraction of the platform that you have don't take the kind of risks that you take. And I know it can't be easy because other celebrities don't do it. Other celebrities won't do it. Help us understand, again, everybody plays a different role. She's a frontline person, I'm on TV, you're an entertainer, other people here do other things. So, you know, it's all of us have a role to play in this ecosystem. But in the role that you play, what is, you know, making you do this? And why do you do this? I know you have your personal thing, but you know what? A lot of people have their personal thing. What are you seeing out here in society that's bothering you so much when it comes to racism that you're speaking out?
It just hurts to see so much pain and suffering that people are having to deal with. It's not fair. And I feel like if you don't use your voice, especially with the platform that I have, you're being a bystander. Bystanders are just as guilty as the people that are causing this crisis. And it doesn't matter how many people or how many people you're going to reach to. If you have a voice, which we all do, especially as Americans, it's our duty and for us to speak up and to say something. And it can be frustrating, of course, when you don't see people speak out because they're afraid of losing fans or they are afraid of supporters and you know, not supporting them anymore. It can be extremely frustrating, but as long as we continue to fight the good fight and raise our voices and let our neighbors know, be kind to the people that you meet at the grocery store, the pizza guy that comes to your door, you know, not judging him for his skin color or his sexual orientation or his gender. It's so important that we continue to spread love and positivity so that we unite this country when, unfortunately, leaders aren't uniting us themselves.
Beautiful, beautiful. Last question, but it's an important question. You know, we're here in Nashville. This town is full of weird people. I mean, seriously. And, creative types, artists, singers, musicians, poets, intellectuals. I mean, they call Nashville the Athens of the South because there's so many universities here. I mean, this is an extraordinary town, and there's 100 new people coming every day. You know, you're an artist. You somehow found a way to turn that pain into a global, platform and beyond. You heal people well, you're sleeping. Spotify is using your voice to make people's lives better. You got an army of artists sitting out here. Can you talk to them as an artist, just forget the politics, just as an artist, the importance of you living your life, you telling your story, you singing your song, and then talk to us about then how you can use that for good. But just as one of our most celebrated artists, talk to these artists.
To all artists out there that are listening, music is an escape for people, and you already know that. But for those who don't know, music is an escape. It can transport you to somewhere else, and every time I go on stage, I say a prayer that my music will inspire somebody and that my music will help somebody escape for an hour and a half, to forget about the troubles that are going on in their lives and to just have fun, to either have fun or to feel. I wouldn't be alive without music. Music is what got me through some of my darkest moments, whether it was me listening to other artists or me creating it. Music is what got us through the Great Depression. With jazz, it's something that is so crucial to healing, and any type of art, whether you are a painter or a poet. Your expression inspires people and it helps people. And this is a time in our country and in our world where we really, really need that. And that's why it's important to keep music and keep art in schools, and whatever I can possibly do to help somebody get through a tough period in their lives, or to create a wonderful memory. I want to be able to help somebody create those memories to it.
People, though, are scared.
Yeah.
They are scared to put their poetry out there. They're scared to finish that book. People are scared. You must get scared. Artists get stuck. Frankly, some of the reason we're in this situation right now, we got artists in here not doing their job, and encourage them somehow. I mean, how do you do it? You're so prolific. I've been working on the same book for a while.
I'm working on a book as well,
okay.
And I'm speaking about things that I've never spoken about before.
It's so important, though.
It's so important because I know that it's going to help an audience that needs a voice. Trying not to speak about what I'm going to speak about, but it's important that somebody has somebody to look at and to see them come through the other side and say, you can get through this, you can live a happy, healthy life no matter what trauma you've had. And to the artists out there that are struggling to finish their projects because they're afraid of what people might think, they're afraid of putting it out there on the line and being honest and vulnerable. To become a true artist, that's what you have to do. You have to be vulnerable and you have to put it out there on the line, because that's when you're going to relate to somebody. That's when you're going to help somebody get through their darkest moments. And just know that it doesn't matter how many people you reach. I pray before every concert that I inspire somebody, and that it doesn't matter if it's thousands of people, if it's 100 people, or if it's one person in the audience. As long as I inspire one person, then I'm doing my job. And that's what you can do with your art. You can help people. And just remember that when you're struggling, when you're indecisive whether or not you should release certain things. I have a song called Warrior and a song called Father, and those were two of the most difficult songs for me to write. But they were extremely important to me, and I've had fans come up to me and say, thank you so much for writing this. The song about your dad helped me get through my issues with my father. The song about Warrior helped me get through my issues with trauma. And it's just so important that you're able to open up and be there for other people, because you never know the impact that you're going to have on somebody's life.
Demi Lovato. Beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, I'm honored to meet you too. Thank you so much.
And we'll be back.